Hello, everybody. Thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. Something to think about. We are giving updates on the stories that we have been covering the last few days, and including the 1776 movement that I told you was going to try to occupy Washington, D.C. Had a lot of people say, oh, that's ridiculous. That may be your opinion as to what they were trying to do, but nonetheless, we've got an update on that coming up. We begin with the news we had on July 4th, breaking news, sadly, of a mass shooting in Highland Park, just a few miles away from Chicago, a suburb of Chicago. And apparently the shooter used a disguised themselves as a woman. The alleged shooter, he's been charged with killing 7 people, but until proven guilty, as we talk about here, legally purchased the firearm. And obviously this is, had been planning the attack for weeks. Now, that's what happens. I don't think people just randomly decide, well, I'm going to go shoot a bunch of people today. I think that the people that are doing this kind of thing are not stable to begin with, and they take their time. It is a goal. Okay, I've talked about that on here before. From the psychological perspective, there's each thing is the Buffalo shooting, 10 dead. Well, then the school shooting in Texas, then the goal is to just keep escalating, and a lot of attention was paid to what happened on July 4th at Highland Park. There were other mass shootings that day that nobody talked about. There was a mass shooting in Gary, Indiana. There was a mass shooting in Minneapolis, Minnesota. 2 police officers were shot at a fireworks event in Philadelphia, and none of those made a whole lot of noise in the news, because the victims weren't white. Okay, I'm sorry, but it gives us something to think about. Okay, and that's what we do on here. No, we don't want that. Jayland Walker, Akron, Ohio, released the body cam footage. We played some of that on an episode. I couldn't watch all 14 versions of it. It honestly gets me sick in my stomach just reflecting back on it. And he was shot 63 times. When his body arrived at the medical examiner's office, he was handcuffed. Just something to think about. Things have remained relatively peaceful in Akron, Ohio, much as they have in many places where this has happened. It will be in our eyesight moving forward to see if the police are going to be charged with anything, or if this is all going to be ruled as justified. I imagine that the police department trying to focus on a potential gunshot and finding a shell casing and a gun in the car, that all of that was put out right at the very first in order to establish justification for what we all saw. Not that, you know, that's just something to think about, okay? And everybody make their own decisions based upon that. There has been a little bit of limited violence. Not a lot of people are streaming from Akron. There were a couple of altercations over the past couple of days between police and protesters, but it's not being caught on. It's not being caught on camera phone, and we will be keeping an eye on this. All right. And again, we're going to be live tonight, 11 p.m. We're going to be talking about all this, give you a chance to let us know what you think. The other story we were following, the Large Hadron Collider in CERN, as we saw from the picture there, and I will run it back down. A round of applause broke out because it was successful. And to quote Sheldon Cooper, they didn't create a black hole that destroyed the Earth, so money well spent. There will be results, whether they found the Higgs boson particle that they were looking for or not hasn't been released yet, but this happened yesterday. And once again, for all appearances, everything went as good as can be expected, and there wasn't any major disaster nor portals opened or anything like that. But then again, if that had happened, would we know about it? So we do know that they didn't blow up. Now, the 1776 restoration movement, I told you that the plans were they were going to move in on July 4th and try to do an occupation in Washington, D.C. As ludicrous as that sounded. According to sources, they could not get into Washington, D.C. because the roads were blocked. And the only way in would have been by bus or by train. Maybe the roads were blocked to the big trucks, which is what they were taking in. So they did a slowdown. Okay, they stopped on the highway as we showed in the previous video, left one lane open for traffic and for emergency vehicles, but nonetheless the activities were illegal. Keep all that in mind as we move forward. All right. Everything I just said happened on July 4th. July 5th, it was announced prominently to the public that there are two sex offenders, child molesters, convicted child molesters within the group. And a lot of the people left right then. All right. It's at the moment, as of yesterday, it was 100 people at this camp, not the numbers that could have probably happened and were on the way to happening, because a bunch of people got really turned off when all this information came out about these child predators, one of which is from Indiana. Okay. And it's not accused. I mean, there are more charges going against one of them, but these are convicted people. These are people that have been convicted. They're on sex offender lists. They're not supposed to be around children. Okay. Whatever whether you think they can be rehabilitated. Okay. I'm talking the law here. All right. And remember, forgiving somebody and absolving them are two different things. You can forgive somebody, but that doesn't necessarily mean forgetting who they have shown themselves to be. Okay, just throwing that out there as something to think about. So 9 hours ago, as you can see, and the videos that we're going to be referencing here are all from WYSIWYG TV, a YouTube channel, a streamer that has been following the convoy for a while, and is supposedly reporting independently. Okay, I've been getting my information. You know, I show you a video now and then. I get my information from somebody that's been inside from day one and saw things that were troubling and started reaching out to me to make me aware of this thing because of the potential danger it had. That's why I've been reporting on it for a couple of weeks when nobody else was talking about it. Okay. And this streamer is not where I've been getting my information. The guy I referenced the other day, the cookie, one of the Oreo something, you know, I don't watch his streams. I generally don't watch their streams. I have over the past few days because leading up to the 4th. And again, I'm spending some time on this because people said this, what, you know, that's crazy. Okay, yeah, for most people it is, but they took off 9 hours ago, roughly, in the middle of the night, about 2:30 in the morning, I think was what was referenced. And here you can see part of the convoy. It is an extensive, you know, it's quite a number of vehicles, including a fire truck and semis without the trailers. All right. Now, the information I was given and I've shared with y'all is that they were going to go in, establish a presence on the National Mall, then call for reinforcements to come in or have reinforcements scheduled. I heard another group had just rolled in today, knowing that the July 4th date had been postponed 2 days. They were rolling in today in order to come down and reinforce the foothold, if you will, that was being established. All right. All of this is alleged. All of this is info I've been getting, and it's all adding up as we go along. The next live stream, they have parked on the National Mall, and we're going to watch and listen to a little of this. Again, this is from, they call him, I think they call him Wizzy. His first name is Chris, but you know that I'm not trying to dox the guy or anything. I'm just trying to give him credit and show you where to go and watch all the videos for yourself. So he gets the views that he deserves for if he's actually an independent and out there independently broadcasting what's going on. Now, a lot of people say they're independent, but they get so attached to a movement that their reporting is jaded. Okay. And while I'm thinking about it, we like to call ourselves journalists. We like to say we're press. We like to say we're media, because we are the new journalists. We are the new version of freedom of the press. You know, we are media. Only thing is we get our information out on social platforms instead of on televised platforms. But law enforcement and the judicial system don't always look at it that way, okay? And in all honesty, all we are is somebody with a phone. No matter the hat, because I've got a media hat, I got legitimate credentials for this company, you know, American Dufus Channel, ADC, American Dufus Channel. I've got the credentials, I've got the hat, I got the media vest, I got the equipment, but I'm not connected to an established traditional broadcasting platform, radio, television, newspaper. Okay. We are just people with a phone. And if you don't believe me, ask Maxwell Mitchell, ask Ford Fisher, ask anybody that, you know, Summer Dickerson, anybody that has live streamed, okay? In case you're new to all of this. So with all that being said, they arrived this morning. They got in and they parked at the National Mall. Everything was going according to plan. And I'm going to just show you what happened here. We're going to watch a little bit. And again, go to, and we'll keep referencing the guy. You can probably tell what's about to happen.
Goes right along with the riot police. Oh, I see. Here come the Marine recruits now. Oh no, I see. They're just out doing they're out doing their workout. That's all. Wow.
Okay, somebody was trying to tell him there were a whole bunch of police rolling in, and all he saw was Marine recruits out doing their calisthenics.
So we're out here at the National Mall. In fact, you are here. This is where we're at, Capitol, Washington Monument. The convoy.
I'm sorry, I'm smiling because we've covered so many protests and we've seen how people protest and the amount of planning and coordination and everything that goes along with it. These people have been sitting in this camp for 4 months, plotting what they were going to do. And
is on this block and this block here, with their vehicles parked in parking spots where they've paid them.
And all of a sudden police are everywhere and they're like befuddled.
And now this massive police response. These are all United States Park Police officers here. Metro PD officers are over there and over there.
So far he's coming off as independent.
So,
and kudos for that, because the truth matters, and that's why we show these things.
And we're going to go see what happens here. Let's go see what happens here. This is maybe a short day is what it's starting to look like, which is sort of surprising because I'm not sure what they saw that was different from what I saw or what I missed perhaps. So what we've been following tonight. Want to make sure that we're all aware that I'm parked in a parking area. 3-hour limit here. 3-hour limit. I'm parked legally. I've paid my parking and I am here in the National Mall. My press badge on, here covering this event, and just making sure that's clear for the record. as I walk around and show you what's going on.
Maybe it'll make a difference.
Yep, I'm well aware that this is not the United States. This is the District of Columbia. This is our federal government, and we know that the rules do not apply to some, but I'll tell you, the sun is hot in the moment.
Let me explain. This is kind of a reactionary part of the video. I haven't seen this. I was sent this and told what where to go into the video to see what was actually happening. And it's not that far into it. So just this first part I haven't seen, just to be clear.
Oh, the road's closed. I don't know why I'm standing here waiting to cross, which is interesting. Positive construction. This was open earlier. You guys doing construction in the mall, huh? Yeah. Cool.
Somebody's singing off key. Okay, this is where I was told to come in, right here at the 5-minute mark. And as we've shown on here before, this is Santa. His name's David Riddell, I believe, his real name. And he's the leader of the group. He owns the name 1776 Restoration Movement. He was leading the convoy that delayed traffic. They basically stopped on the interstate, as I told you, and as we shown, stopped on the interstate for 30 minutes. They left the lane open, and we'll just watch.
The thing is, they don't have to tell anyone why he's being arrested.
No, they don't.
They are required to tell him why he's being arrested. They are not required to tell anybody else why he's being arrested.
That's what you are. That's what you all are. We're not doing anything wrong here.
Hit the like, share, subscribe, notification, so we don't get to the end of this and you forget, please. Thank you.
We're not doing nothing. We're not. They don't have anything wrong. We're DC Metro.
He's being placed under arrest. He has to let you know because he has a warrant for his arrest out of the state of Maryland for obstructing the roadway. Metropolitan Police Bureau is made aware of this arrest warrant. Therefore, we have to take action and execute the warrant. That's why we're here.
You're not even in there. You're not even part of the state. You're your own.
Okay. The group is a big Back the Blue group, okay? And these people have I'm sure these people have watched maybe even our videos of the protests going on, and they've been the ones in the comments yelling, you know, get a job, go home, blah, 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 blah. When they've been out sitting in an empty parking lot in Bunker Hill, West Virginia for 4 months. And they've been getting donations for food and all kinds of things. I'm not, you know, I'm not, but the two sexual predators, it makes you wonder how many other people in this group are going to end up getting exposed because of what is happening here now, because I have a feeling that they've been watching these videos that have been, you know, several streamers have been putting all this stuff out, and they haven't, you know, they haven't made it a secret that, you know, they're Proud Boys. And this story is not going to go away. It will either make this movement explode and people get behind it, and then you'll have to ask, well, are these, you know, are these sex predators looking for a safe place, looking for like-minded, or it's going to die here at this event? Because those of us that have watched protests know that once they get the person they want in there with the charges that they have to arrest them, then they start piling other things on. They're going to go through this guy's background with a fine-tooth comb. There's rumors that there may be some things. I'm just saying that when I came on and told you we need to watch this group, they were planning peacefully to come in and establish a foothold and do what was done in the capital of Canada.
You have no right to arrest him for another day. We're not leaving until you let him go. You guys just believe you're talking about. You're not allowed. Fuck out of here. You're not allowed. Get the fuck out of here. You respect the game. You're always American.
And just like in other protests we've seen, everybody thinks they're an attorney and they're expert on the law. Not everybody, but you know what I'm saying.
We'll always engage respect. This little book is what you understand and respect the House of Words. Live streamers, get on it. Yes, fucking live streamers, get on it. You guys are a bunch of damn constitutional breaking cowards. We're here till he stops.
Okay, so just
All of this is for a warrant.
How do you get a warrant if you don't get a ticket?
okay, I can't.
No, all of that is because they knew ahead of time what you guys were planning on doing, because you broadcasted everything. You know, I'm just saying. Not that there may not be some informants within their organization. I do not know that to be a fact, by the way. I'm just saying, not to discount that possibility. They've been pretty, you know, we've shown it on the program here.
That's 5 minutes down the road, Sam. Just understand you are a coward. You are a fucking coward. First Amendment protects
If you would like for me to explain to you, I'm more than happy. If not,
Explain it.
my name is Police Department badge number. So again,
everybody makes
when you have
it up. Yeah, but we didn't.
so let me explain to you so you understand.
Everybody be real cool.
For whatever violation occurred in the state of Maryland on apparently July 4th and 5th, a warrant was issued by a judge in Maryland for this individual's arrest. Therefore, we were notified this warrant is extraditable. He is here. We are aware of it. Yeah, so that means we place him under arrest. He'll go in front of a judge here. He'll be extradited back to the state of Maryland to face those charges. Okay, so he will not be staying here in DC. Eventually, he will go back to Maryland in front of a judge.
How long is eventually? Yes, well,
So he will be processed here today in the city. He will go see a judge here, depending on how the process works. If he wishes to waive or not waive extradition, then he will go to Maryland and see a judge in Maryland. Okay, that's how the process works.
It's very nice to meet you. We'll be respectful. We're here. I don't know what you want. We respect.
Is this response just for David, or is there a reason for the massive response from all the officers?
We have soldiers, we have airmen, right? I can't read it.
Absolutely. So we respect the right of everyone to peacefully protest. That's not why we're here. We're here because of the arrest warrant. We will need.
So all of these officers are for the arrest of David.
You will need what?
We will need to talk to the folks that are in charge of the bobtails and the fire truck, the commercial vehicles. So we'll need to talk to them. I mean, we can talk over here as long as those people.
What is going to happen to Santa's truck?
They are in violation of the law, so we can talk to them about that. Okay, so whoever owns those vehicles that are responsible for the commercial vehicles. Okay, well, we'll make sure his vehicle is secure. That's fine. Whoever has the other ones, the non.
No one is leaving until Santa's released, but we're going to be gentlemen and ladies about it. We'll be respectful American citizens while we're here. We're here legally. We have been. Legally, yes, we have been. Hold on, let's not do.
How do you know you don't have a warrant for your arrest? How do you not know that you have a warrant for your arrest?
Well, that's not what we're talking about now. What we're talking about is Santa, and what we're talking about is how we're going to stay here until Santa.
Here July 4th when
That's what
Santa
I'm
blocked the road.
And I also wasn't here July 4th. That's how I know.
Do you have any other warrants for anyone else in this group?
Not at this time, we do not.
Not at this time.
That's not to say that Maryland won't obtain other warrants. So we have no information or involvement. It's not.
What I imagine happened was, this is just a speculative scenario here. I imagine that Maryland police probably showed, or West Virginia police probably showed up where they were camping, and there wasn't anybody there because they had already come downtown. And that's why, you know, the word spread, and that's why they showed up in force, because they knew a convoy was coming in to attempt an occupation. And probably while they were at camp, they might have searched some things. They might have, they could have been out there watching them for weeks because, like I said, they've been there for 4 months. Probably have all of their information, you know, every one of them that's part of this group, because their faces have been visible on all these streams. And the guy that we're watching now, Chris, doing a good job. I watched him interview Santa yesterday, and Santa basically everything on those, as we know from Grandmaster Jay, everything on those past videos will now be evidence against him. Don't be surprised if there aren't some major charges and a lot of serious stuff come out of this incident. That's why we're spending time on it, because we've been talking about how this is a tipping point. And in my opinion, this makes it even more so, because like I said, this movement will either blow up or it will implode upon itself.
I think the things that occur in the state of Maryland, only the things here in the District of Columbia.
This is rolling out over the next few weeks and months.
No opinion into this. We're here just to facilitate peaceful personal protest.
This is a massive response for a warrant on one man.
Everybody's
According to the
emotions
officer,
are
this
high that are
response
there.
was over the warrant for David, aka Santa.
Use your common sense, dude.
They look like they're right now.
Okay, everything's moving down to where the tractors of the tractor trailers are parked, bobtails as they are referred to by the law enforcement there. And then there is a fire truck in front of the 4 or 5, I'm not sure how many semis were there.
I suggest you remove yourself.
Yes. Yep.
So police officer driving at this truck.
Doesn't even know how to drive.
Less than a foot in the back.
Doesn't even know how to drive. He's trying to figure out how to shift the gears.
So the police are taking control of Santa's truck at this moment. Uniquely. That sticker that's on the truck.
Someone walks back.
That is trespassing. That is trespassing. Where's the search warrant? Where is the search warrant? That is trespassing. That's stealing. You guys, that's grand theft. You know that? That is grand theft. Where's the warrant?
Kyle Jews. I would assume that Santa gave them the keys. I didn't see Santa give them the keys, but I would guess that that is what happened.
I think you forgot that.
This response is due to the arrest warrant that was issued, according to the police officer, by Maryland, the state of Maryland, for the July 4th protest. So when I was over here and you see all the park police, that is the park police are here on the property. The Metro PD are dealing with the truck and made the arrest of Santa. And you see the reaction of the crowd and the stun, the surprise that was going on because not what anyone expected. Santa would not have known that he had a warrant for his arrest. He was also the only one that I'm aware of that gave up his driver's license to the police officer.
That's illegal right there and there. Everything's illegal right there.
You must not have been paying attention when that happened the first time.
Get on the sidewalk. Get on the sidewalk. Get on the sidewalk. Get on the sidewalk.
I knew somebody got hurt.
They did not. X-ray, they did not. X-ray, they did not. She fell on her own, X-ray. She fell on her own, X-ray. She fell on her own. She fell on her own. I captured it on my life black tank top. She fell off the truck on the other side. One of them was
Which one of you none of these police officers will help children, even on the ground. Not one of them will help them. Showing film, none of you will help them.
Processes out of dissertation to their review and eventually.
Okay, so that gives you an idea of what happened. Now, the fire truck, all the other semis pulled away. We Need You Here on Jefferson and 3rd downtown DC was being streamed, and evidently they've ended the stream. So basically, to recap what's going on down there at the moment, from what the last we saw at 3:37 p.m. This is going to process on Zoom, then it'll process through YouTube. So hopefully this gets out around 4:30, between 4:30 and 5 p.m. What we know is they are sitting underneath shade trees on benches down there waiting to be told what to do. Very much like, you would say sheep. There's no leader now, and there's no plan B. All right. We talk a lot on here about being prepared for things, having a plan A, plan B, plan C in case of emergencies. Well, they didn't have a plan B for their leader getting arrested as soon as they arrived to begin the occupation. So that's our update for today from what's been going on over the weekend. Again, Highland Park shooting on July 4th, 7 people killed. Other mass shootings that night that didn't get a lot of publicity: Gary, Indiana, Minneapolis, Minnesota. Talked about Jayland Walker, the young man that was shot 63 times. He was then put in handcuffs and was handcuffed when he arrived at the medical examiner's office. I don't know, just giving you things to think about. CERN super collider crashed particles into each other faster. It's a 17-mile circle that they have built, that they shoot these things through to get them up to speed. They go around 17 miles and then hit into each other at various points that are monitored throughout the 17-mile circle. And they didn't blow up the Earth. What they accomplished, we're not really sure yet. And then the 1776 that we've been extensively covering here. Again, I haven't been talking about this for 2 weeks because it's insignificant. And what happened, what happens, we'll keep watching. We'll be back on tonight at 11 p.m. live to talk about all of these things. Plus, I've got some information from Israel that it's breaking information now, but I'm going to hold on to it till tonight, 11 p.m. It may not be breaking by then, but we've had enough to think about here. So we'll talk about whatever you'd like to talk about coming up tonight at 11 p.m. We'll be doing it live. And until then, blessings be upon you. Wish you nothing but peace. And I thank you very much for watching.